Are you looking to get into PC gaming on a budget? This here is a $150 gaming PC that you can build pretty easily right now without having to find any crazy deals. It can run any game you throw at it, such as CSGO and Dota 2, and of course Fortnite. Today, I'm going to show you how to build it. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf. Today I'm going to be showing you guys this $150 gaming PC and also showing you how to build one for yourself. And if you want to see more PC building or benchmarking videos, then hit that subscribe button down below and also that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode. But yeah, let's check this thing out. Alright, so the main piece of this $150 gaming PC is definitely the Dell Optiplex 3010, which I personally found for $100 with free shipping using the Mercari app. This Optiplex is packing an Intel i5 3470 clocked at 3.2 GHz, 8GB of DDR3 RAM, and a 500GB hard drive. I'm sure you've all seen by now that these Dell Optiplexes are a great start to building a budget gaming PC, and you can usually find ones like this for about $100. If you're going to start with an Optiplex, I would just ensure that it has 8GB of DDR3 RAM and a somewhat decent Core i5 processor. After verifying that everything worked in this build, it was time to add a few upgrades to transform it from an office desktop computer to a 1080p capable gaming PC. The obvious answer is to add a graphics card, and I went with a GTX 650, which anyone can buy right now off AliExpress for $30 and free shipping. Now don't get me wrong, this Core i5 processor can definitely be paired with a much beefier GPU, but to keep this build under $150, this was pretty much our best bet. I actually made an entire dedicated video about this GTX 650 last week and what it's capable of, so be sure to check that video out if you're interested. You can certainly snag a better deal if you're patient, but this one is available right now, so that's why I included it. To go along with this GPU, or pretty much any GPU upgrade you throw in this build, we're gonna need a better power supply. The one that was included was only like 250 watts or so that's just not gonna cut it. I went with this new EVGA 430 watt power supply that you can almost always find for $20. If you're gonna copy this build, then just make sure you get any power supply from about 400 to 500 watts. I'll have some Amazon and Newegg links down in the description, and just make sure that you don't pay any more than $20 or $25 for it. Next, I removed the CPU cooler and reapplied my favorite thermal paste, Arctix MX4. That link is also down in the description. Finally, I also completely wiped the hard drive and put a fresh Windows 10 install in there. You should always do this if you're buying a used PC like this, because you just never know if they install malware or activation cracks or anything like that, and you can always just use the Windows 10 unactivated version for a while. So before getting into the benchmarks, here is our very short list of parts, and as you can see, the build came out to an exact total of $150. This was without finding any crazy deals, and you can copy this exact build pretty easily. To kick off the benchmarks, we obviously had to start with Fortnite. Here I was able to put the settings at 1080p and medium, and I averaged 50 FPS. 50 FPS doesn't sound like a lot, but it was actually pretty smooth, and remember, this entire PC only cost us $150, which is much cheaper than even a console. Next up was Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and here I also kept the settings at 1080p and medium. With this, I averaged a very impressive 125 FPS. Dota 2 followed right behind. Please ignore my noob gameplay. I really need to learn how to play this one. And in 1080p medium settings yet again, I averaged 105 frames per second. You could definitely crank this up to high settings if you wanted to. With the easy to run games out of the way, it was time to push this system with a game like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This game still is very demanding to run, and I had to crank down the resolution to 720p and very low settings, but with this we still averaged 40 FPS. 40 isn't high by any means, but as you can see from the gameplay here, it was certainly playable enough, at least in my opinion. And finally, Far Cry 5 was up next, and this game had the PC on its knees begging for mercy, because in 720p in lowest settings, I was only able to average 24 FPS. Keep in mind that the Far Cry 5 is a brand new 2018 title, and it's honestly one of the hardest games to run as of right now. You're gonna need a little bit beefier of a graphics card to pull that one off. Overall, I personally think that this system produced some pretty impressive results for the entire thing only costing me $150. It's pretty mind-blowing that $150 gets you a fully capable gaming PC here in 2018, while the prices of all the new hardware are still pretty darn high. Well, that wraps up my $150 gaming PC guide. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because I'm going to take this Optiplex in a future video and add some much more expensive parts to it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like down below to help support my channel, and as always, thank you for watching. And please subscribe for more Zach's Tech Turf videos.